Like ghosts in the hourglass, these are the songs of our lives!
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Songs of Our Lives. I'm Brad Rose. I am a musician, a composer, a writer, the founder of Foxy Digitalis, and somebody who thinks about music and sound far more than is healthy. Each week I invite on a guest and we talk about the songs and the music that has meant a lot to them and followed them along their journey, if you will. And this week I'm thrilled to have on Felicia Chen, aka Disfig. I'm a huge fan of her work, and when I saw late last year, I guess it was, this collaborative album between her and The Body announced, I jumped on the chance to, invite her on the show. And we actually recorded this a while ago, but God, it was so much fun. And it's just, it's one of those things where I knew her work really well. I'd been a really great admirer of the music she makes, her DJ sets, just, I don't know, Felicia's rad. And this just kind of, it just added a lot of interesting context to like her work and her approach and all of those things. But I don't know, my takeaway from these often is A, that part, like I get a better understanding of someone as an artist, but B, it's just like, God, I just had a lot of fun. Like it was like, we recorded for like an hour and a half and it was just, it was great. So, the album Orchards of a Futile Heaven, it's her and The Body. It is out on February 23rd on Thrill Jockey. It fucking rules. If you haven't heard it, I mean, if you're a fan of Disfig or if you're a fan of The Body, then, obviously this is the thing, but it's just, there's so much to this album. Like there's just so many, I feel like really cheesy saying this, but there's so many levels to it that I've listened to it a bunch in the last few months, and it's always kind of revealing something else. But like the main takeaway is just this very visceral, cathartic listening experience. So huge recommendation on that. As always, thanks for listening. And you can, if you really enjoy the show and you want to support it and you want a little bit more, patreon.com/Foxy Digitalis for $3 a month. You can get these episodes a week early, and all of them have like a whole extra exclusive Patreon section where, we have the most fun in some ways, I think. I don't know. But anyway, we recorded this, like I said, late last year, I think in November on Zoom, and it was a freaking blast. I hope you think so too. My guest today is a musician, a singer, a DJ, and if you ask me, someone who has potential to be like the best fucking front woman in the world, it is Felicia Chen. Woo!
Hey, thank you.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's like this perfect fall day here where it's gray and windy and cool, and I'm loving it. So.
It's not a perfect fall day here. It is a winter, initiation day with snow on the ground and frigid, slippery weather.
Okay, well, good time to be inside.
Yeah. I'm warm inside. Luckily, I have heat. Hey,
that's good. That's very good. Okay, so obviously, like we're recording this in late November, but this isn't going to come out for a little while because you've got a record with The Body coming out.
Yes.
I guess like the first question is how did that come about? Like how did the conversation start or what?
Yeah, I think it was pretty organic. I think we were both fans of each other's work. I love The Body. I've seen them play a few times. Just always been blown away by their music and by their live shows too. I think as organic as things are today in the world where we have the internet.
Right.
So, we may have run into each other on the internet,
Right.
and, sent each other some love on each other's work. And yeah, I think one of them just hit me up one day and was like, "Hey, should we do an album together?" And I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long ago, how long have you all been working on it?
I can't remember exactly when, but I want to say 2020 was when that conversation happened. Yeah. So a long time ago, and a very different time ago too.
Yeah. Right. So one of the things, and I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, but have you, I don't know, always ever wanted to be sort of like the front woman of a metal band?
I think when I was a kid, I wanted to be in a band, and I wanted to be, I don't know if I always wanted to be the front woman or front person or, the singer in the band. I think when I was a kid, I wanted to play the drums, and then my parents were like, "No, we're not bringing drums into the house. You crazy?" And then I thought bass, like the bass guitar was really cool. So I thought that I wanted to play the bass. I'm not sure when I felt like I had this desire to, be
a singer.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I think like vocals came to me when I was really young, just through being a really big choir nerd, actually. But I think, I'm not sure, but it has been within me. And actually, when I think about this album and this collaboration, I actually don't really see it as that. I think this is the first time I'm seeing it as that, as you're mentioning it now.
Okay. I mean, in somewhat I don't, listening
but it makes sense.
To the record. Yeah. I say that, but I feel like the way, when I think of the singer of a band or I don't think it does quite describe what you all do together. Cause I feel like in a way with the record, your voice is, you are the singer, but it's also just this other instrument along with everything else. And so I don't know. I think,
what I think it is that, because it's been 2 or 3 years working on this record, and it's been, I've been in Berlin and they've been in Portland. So it's all been through email, just sending stems back and forth with a lot of time in between each email. So I feel like it hasn't felt like that because I guess when I think of, being a vocalist in a band, I think of the performance part.
Right.
Not the studio part. So we haven't done that yet. Yeah. So I don't even know. I don't know what that looks like, how that's going to work. As of now, we haven't, we've made some plans to do that in the future, but I haven't been in the same room with them, working on the stuff.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. It should be very interesting.
It should be, I imagine it'll be a lot of fun. I don't know. I have these visions. I can just see you on stage, fist
yeah. I think it'll be really fun. I mean, we played together. I was in Portland, I think earlier this year, and they set up a show. So on the same bill, I opened for them, and it worked out really well, actually. I think that generally maybe our performances might exist in two kind of different worlds. But it really worked together. But at the same time, I think that the performances are very different, with a different demeanor, a different persona, a different energy bringing to it. So it'll be really interesting to see how, we walk together and what's going to be the vibe when we're on stage together.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think I love collaborations like this where it's I never had thought of it, but then when the email came through, it's oh yeah, this makes sense. And I think one of the things that is really cool is that because a lot of times collaborations can be really hard. Like I love collaborating, but it can be really hard to figure out where everything fits. And I think this record especially is like you hear you and the stuff you do, you hear what they do, but it's also it feels like something different too. Like it's all, and so I don't know. You all somehow threaded that needle very, very well. So
yeah, I think it wasn't something super intentional. I think it was just like we sent each other stems of things that we might have been, just little demos or something, and then slowly we just started walking together towards each other. And yeah, that's kind of what came out of it. I think also, I think that time period was a lot, a lot of stuff going on in very different modes. I think that I feel like if we had made the album, I don't know, a couple years prior to that, it'd sound a lot different. And I feel like if we had written it today, it would sound so different. So it really encapsulated some moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for like, that totally makes sense. And then seeing how that was in now in this moment translate live will be like the live setting is one thing, but it's also like, I don't know, it's been 2-3 years, but it feels like such a different, I think we're all very different now.
It's very different.
Just, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's awesome. I'm excited about it. I think a lot of people are probably excited about it. And I don't know, did you see, I don't remember who it was, but somebody like apparently had tweeted like a couple of years ago about how Disfig and the Body need to make a record.
Yes. I think it was a friend of a friend, and my friend sent it to me, and we had already started working on the album, and I've been saving that tweet.
I bet.
It's been in a folder in my favorites, saving it to drop it one day. Like, ooh, this is the one.
Yeah, I think I saw you do that, and you had like the big eyes on it, like, and it was like the day before the announcement. Very, very well timed. Very good. Good social media.
Yeah, thank you, person, for tweeting that.
Yes. They helped the whole promotional campaign, and they didn't even know it. Okay, well, we should get down to business here. And so to do that, so we kind of talked about like you're a choir kid and also those, and which I'm currently raising a soon to be choir kid.
Yes.
Yeah. She started taking voice lessons a couple months ago.
Go.
And so I'm
sick.
Yeah, I'm totally into it. But anyway, enough about me. So let's start with, what is the first song that you remember?
Hip Hop Hooray.
Oh,
Naughty
really?
by Nature, yeah.
Awesome. Oh my God. Yeah. What a first song to, that's awesome.
I don't know if it's like a made up memory in my mind, but I see it very vividly. I feel like I was 2 years old, but I feel like that's kind of crazy to remember something at 2 years old. Maybe 2.5 or 3. I feel like if I said this story to my sister, she'd be like, "You're crazy. That didn't happen. You made something up again."
Is your sister older or younger?
Older by 8 years. So this happens often that I remember things. She's like, "No, that didn't happen." But I think also she, as someone 8 years older than me, she remembers things a lot differently than I do.
Sure.
So, but I remember visiting my family on the West Coast for the first time. I was like 2.5 or 3 years old. Barely remember any of the trip, but I do remember stepping into someone's room. I think it was like a cousin, but someone who was older, like in their 20s or something. And I think like I see it as this like kind of hazy light den where on one side is just like cassette tapes and like records, maybe CDs. I guess not. Were CDs available back then? 92? I don't remember.
I think that was like early. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess this is my made up memory anyway. Who knows? But I remember, a bunch of them sitting on the ground and just looking really cool. They're all a lot older than me. It was my first time meeting them. First time being on the West Coast. And hearing this song, Hip Hop Hooray. And like people just nodding while there was like some windows in the background. And then like the light was like streaming in, but in like this it almost feels like people were smoking, but I feel like that's not possible because I feel like my family doesn't smoke. So I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a fucking music video. Who knows? But it's one that's been living in my head for a long time.
Well, that's like, wow. That's an amazing what a song too. Like it's oh my God. Like from like the opening beat, like that beat and just like the gang vocal and the whole thing. It is, oh my God. Yeah. Whenever I was like prepping for this and every time this song came on, I was like, I got to get up and move. I can't just sit here and listen to this. It is just such a jam.
Yeah, definitely the energy that I got from that as a 2-year-old was just like, this beat is hard.
Yeah, this goes fucking hard.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I never would have guessed that was going to be the answer to this question. So that's awesome. Okay. Well, it's on a totally different note, like what's a song that often makes you cry or makes you, if it doesn't actually make you cry, it makes you feel that feeling?
I only sent you one answer.
Okay.
I kind of have two answers to this question.
That's fine.
My instinctual answer is Sufjan Stevens, "To Be Alone with You," which is off of Seven Swans, which is one of my favorite albums ever. I think maybe it's just that I've spent so much time with that album. I feel like for many years, it's been my go-to album to put on when maybe I'm not feeling so nice, or, it's kind of like, it's like a blanket.
Yeah, it's like comfort food.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think particularly that one really, really is weighty. A weighted blanket.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, and I realized that, because this is like 10 plus years old, but like, like the recent news of his partner's passing and stuff, like earlier this year.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Like he had I think he had a new album out this year, maybe. I can't, but when it came out, he talked about like his partner had passed and all, and so it's like all these songs, like I was listening to this and it's like I realized this was 10, 12 years ago, but it just adds to that weightiness of it. It's like, oh my God. Oh.
Oh damn, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually I didn't realize though, I mean this relates to another it relates to how actually it's really hard for me to comprehend lyrics. But I did not realize until recently that Seven Swans is like a devotional album.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
or maybe not devotional. It's not devotional album, but like it, like very heavily based on Christianity.
I don't think that's like, I think like I knew that because I read it.
Same.
And, like, same. And I think part of that, I think he's really good at. I don't think he's hiding it, but I think I don't know. It sort of speaks to. Like, I'm not religious at all or anything, but obviously there are certain, like, religions have there are universal themes and things that we can anybody can relate to. Like, take
totally,
like, the weird, like, Jesus-y part out of it, and it's like, there's a lot of it I'm like, yeah, that is, and I think his stuff does a really good job at kind of touching on that without feeling sort of overbearing in the...
He does a good job of making it relatable.
Yeah. And I never would have guessed that this was, if I hadn't read it in the, like, when I got like a press copy or something back then, I would never would have guessed.
Well, I only read it about like a couple of years ago, so I didn't know for, a couple decades or however long it's been out, 15 years ago, something like that.
I just think that kind of goes to, speaks to how it's just really fucking good.
Yeah, it really is. The other choice I was going to mention kind of relates to what you just mentioned, but it's Mount Erie I think Crow Part 2 is the one.
Yeah. That I know is that's off
that
of
one's fucking heavy.
What's the name of the record?
I think it's called Only Now.
Yeah, like I can't listen to it.
Yeah.
Like I listened to it like one time and just kind of left me in a puddle.
Yeah.
It was so intense.
I think the fact that it's hard for me to pay attention to lyrics makes it easier for me to listen to, but then when I, try to adamantly focus and hear it, it's so rough.
Yeah, it is. It's so beautiful. It's such a stunning record. I mean, it like, I don't know. We're gonna talk more about this on some of these other picks in a different way, but like and Sufjan does this too, like just the kind of sort of vulnerability and earnestness that are in these songs is so, it's like, it's really moving, and it's like, to me, it feels like a really brave thing to do, because it's terrifying to do that. Like, and I think that the way they do it, or like that Phil Elverum, it's such a, I don't know, because there's like this line of earnestness, like, I'm a big advocate of being earnest in the right moments, because I think it's like this really powerful thing, and people are scared of it and I get why, but I think that's amazing power. But also, like, if you're too earnest all the time, it's like, Jesus Christ. It's like there's the line, and like they're really good at kind of, I don't know, doing it in a way that.
Who's too earnest? Yeah. Who's an example of
who's... we'll get there.
Okay.
It's on your list.
Oh, is it? Huh. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But these are okay. I like I think these are really both of those. I'm gonna try to listen to the Mount Erie song after this. We're gonna see if I can
yeah. Brace yourself.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, on the flip side, to brighten the mood here, what's the song that'll usually put you in a better mood? And I thought this was going to be Hip Hop Hooray.
I forget my answer to this, actually.
Uh-oh.
I wrote it down.
Don't worry, everybody usually when we do this, like, I gotta have my list in front of me. Okay, so what's,
well, I will say, on a side note, before I get to the song, on a side note, I would say like anything with Ashanti in it.
Oh, yeah.
And any 2000s, R&B, specifically with Ashanti, for sure. But I feel like that's like an easy pick. But my pick was Midnight Request Line by Scream, the Digital Mystics remix.
So this is, I don't know, like the music world that I am most immersed in is like a different world than like electronic music. Like, I think I started getting into electronic music in, I don't know, late like 2007, and it was actually our mutual friend John Twelves who is really where that started. But I fucking love this track.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
It's like arpeggios for days.
Yeah.
And just,
yeah.
Arpeggios make me happy. Like,
same.
I don't know.
And rumbling bass, sub bass make me really, 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 really happy.
Yeah. And this is like, that's what this song is. And then like the beat is like kind of minimalist, but it's the perfect connection of those two things.
Yes. Always hypes me up. I can't not dance. I can't not get up and dance to it.
Right.
I mean, for me, I think I also probably got into this type of music also in like the late early 2000s. That didn't make sense, but I mean like 2010. So,
I don't know.
So. early like 2010, 2012 ish days, which I think is probably quite a few years after this came out. I can't remember, but this was actually kind of my entrance into, I mean, I was like probably 20, 21 at the time. So it was my entrance into starting to go out as an adult, going to clubs, going to like see, like music, nightlife aside from bands, but in a like club context. So this is actually kind of what formed my I guess electronic dance music taste.
Nice. That's a hell of a, yeah. I mean, again, my knowledge of this world is limited. And that's, having conversations with John, it's just like, they are an encyclopedia.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was the same when I did this episode, like earlier episode with James Ginsburg, who is another one who he's been in that scene for, and I learned that's one of the things I love about doing this show is like, I learned along the way. And like, you're
just doing this to get new music.
Absolutely.
You're just doing this to build your library.
This is like to build my library and like, absolutely. And have like fun conversations with cool people. Like that's all I care about. But there was like a Future Sound of London track that was like from 1996 or something. I'd never heard it. Like, and it's this huge track and I should have heard it, but it just blew my mind. And I was like, God, I feel like I missed this whole world and so anyway, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
It's never too late to dig in.
I know that's the thing I love about like, there's so much music and I'll never hear it all. And that sort of brings me a weird comfort. Like there's always stuff, like amazing things to discover.
I feel like it's actually giving me anxiety that there's so much music. Because I want to listen to all of it and I don't have time. I think I totally get I would
that.
prefer it to be, more music than not enough music for sure.
Right, and I know that feeling because I've experienced that a lot. I think there was some point in my life that I just was like, fuck this. Fuck that,
I'm done.
And, just whatever, like stuff's going to find me that needs to find me and it's okay. And I don't know. But this song rules.
Agreed.
Gosh, yeah. More arpeggios, people. I don't know. Okay. All right. So the next question you don't want to answer.
What is it?
What is objectively the best song of all time?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So there isn't one. Well, of course there's not one. I
had some thoughts.
Okay. Okay. You have the floor.
Well, okay. One, there's no answer. There's no answer.
Yes. No, there is not it.
But like, I think maybe the first thing that came up in my head was like Prince Purple Rain.
Yeah. I mean,
but just because it's so well loved, I think it'll never get old. It's so long and it never loses your interest. It's so epic. It's so like karaoke worthy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all of those things. But is it the best song ever? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
could be today, but I don't know. Maybe not tomorrow. I don't know.
Absolutely. And I keep waiting, and this hasn't happened yet. And because, like, again, I don't think there's an objective. I think it's bullshit, and that's why I put it in here because I think it's funny. And I just like to see what people like, where your brain goes. Like, I think that's really interesting. But I keep waiting for someone because obviously, like, people I'm interviewing, like, we're thinking this from a very like Western perspective.
Yeah.
I want someone to like tell me it's like, oh, it's this gamelan piece, or it's
hell
this,
yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
Like to me, so like that's what I'm waiting for. But nobody's, because I think there's so much music that doesn't just for various reasons we don't even think about that is like objectively just incredible. And so it's like, anyway.
Also, like best can fit so many categories. Like best in what?
Yeah. No, exactly. That's what this is like the perfect answer. Is like not having an answer, not really, and this is why. But also, Purple Rain is like.
I mean,
it's like one of the best fucking songs.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, another one I thought of was Maggot Brain.
Yeah.
Kind of similar vein, but yeah.
Yes. I mean, I think you could, I can't remember who it was. I've had a conversation where it's like, I feel like you can make a pretty, like, objectively, what is the best band of all time? It's like Funkadelic. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't believe that, but I believe that, but I don't believe that in the sense that there's, anyway. Okay. Well, I'm going to make sure everybody knows, though, that it's Purple Rain, and that's what you said, and it is gospel.
We can go with, sure. We can go with that.
No one's going to argue. They're going to be like, no, Purple Rain sucks.
Right.
And if they do,
you're going to have a lot of people having problems with you if you say that it sucks, so.
Yeah, and if you think Purple Rain sucks, you're objectively wrong. No, I'm just
kidding. Basically.
Okay. Well, now that we got that out of the way, what's a song that you used to love, but now you kind of cringe when you hear it? You like, it just doesn't work for you now like it once did.
Oh wait, so yeah. I was wary of divulging this or not.
Okay.
Okay. Because I don't want to expose myself.
Oh. Just see some of the stuff people say. I don't think.
Well, the artist is Fall Out Boy.
Oh.
That's the one.
You know who's a huge Fall Out Boy fan? Talks about him all the time.
Who?
Claire Rousset.
Really?
Oh my gosh. I think Claire's covered Fall Out Boy.
Really? I respect that. I've met Claire one time and we didn't talk about Fall Out Boy, but now that I have this intel, like I can't wait to find them again so we can talk each other's ears off about it. Yeah, I mean, I was obsessed. I was on the live journal community, all of this,
Speaking of like being maybe too earnest.
Yeah. No, I knew that this is what you're referring to. Hence the cringe part. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. So, and again, like I never had a thing with Fall Out Boy, but I think it's just because I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing I'm probably like 8 to 10 years old. I'm probably closer to your sister's age. So
well, I was 2 or 3 years old when Hip Hop Hooray came out, so I gave you that clue.
Yeah, so I'm about 10 years older than you.
Okay.
I think. So like I had my own shit. Like it was the era of pop punk.
Yeah.
Before Fallout. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like I had like all the like Lookout Records stuff. Like I was obsessed with. I mean, I still talk about the band Rancid all the time.
Oh, well, I had a little bit of that because that's what my sister was obsessed with.
See?
So then I also grew up listening to Rancid too.
Yeah.
Still bangs.
Oh, I have a whole other podcast where me and a friend talk about Rancid. So. And it's mostly we talk about like the weird nature of fandom and what it means.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like what do you do with something that was so formative to you? And especially like in their case, like they're probably not like the greatest people. Like, do I really? Anyway, that's enough plugging of my other things. But yeah, this was, it's really catchy though. This song, I'll give you that. Like, it's super catchy.
It is. I will say also, I specified the acoustic version. What's the song is My Heart is the worst kind of weapon. Which... Yeah. Tells it all in that. Tells it that it's going to be a banger.
So is there like an electric version of this too?
Yeah, I think I forgot about it because I probably just blacked it out of my mind. But this came off of an EP, I think, by the same name. And the EP was like 5 songs and it was acoustic versions of some of their songs. And I think even like a cover of Joy Division, I feel like. I can't remember.
So
Love Will
weird.
Tear Us Apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one, I think this one is the best one. And I think I was only reminded of this when I kind of went back, looking it up after answer that question. But I guess they have a full band version on the album that came just before that.
Okay.
But I would argue very adamantly that it's not as good. This acoustic version is better.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. Like I listened to this and it was.
You're like, yeah, it's all shit.
No, I mean it's like I don't know. Like there's something about music. Like, again, because I had a very formative thing with pop punk when I was a teenager, and this takes me right back. It's like the acoustic thing. My brain was a little bit like, wait, why are they doing this acoustic? But I don't know. I couldn't help it. Just kind of, I was like, I can't hate it. Like, yeah, it's very cringy, but I can't hate it because like it reminds me of being, for better or worse, like being 15 and
definitely
driving around in my friend's car, blasting like Rancid songs, thinking, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, thinking we were like hard asses.
Yes.
Like, it's like, yeah, you and your Ford Probe were so fucking hard, man. But
yeah, well, it reminds me of Warped Tour. So
yeah, Warped Tour started like, I think I had like my punk phase had passed. Like I just missed it, and so
I think I heard that Warped Tour is back.
I think it is. I don't know, or maybe it never stopped. I don't know. Like, it's like all those sort of legacy bands are like Rancid, and I think
true.
Fall Out Boy. Like,
I mean, yeah,
NoFX.
They're on tour, and they're not touring like old tunes. They're touring new tunes. They've been having albums.
I mean, and they're probably getting paid pretty well. So
good for them. Yeah, good for them.
I mean, okay. Well, it is still.
I mean, the funny thing is, like, because you mentioned Rancid, and it makes me think of my sister. I remember that Fueled by Ramen. Fall Out Boy released on Fueled by Ramen, record label, I think from Chicago, and I think like many years prior, they also released like some of my sister's favorite bands.
Oh,
so even though I think she would never listen to Fall Out Boy, it's totally in the same lineage.
Right. Yeah, that's why I can't. Like, if I was sitting there, I was like, oh, this is shit. Like, I'd just be a hypocrite. It's like, it's like, let's look at your fucking.
You did it too.
I know. Like, and I will still fucking, like, I will go to bat for an Outcome the Wolves until the day I die. It's like, so. Okay, well, this could, I mean, I'm sure, like, any of these songs we talked about could answer the next question, but what's the song that most people, some group of people, whatever the context is, you want to make, people absolutely hate, but you don't give a shit. You love it.
Oasis, Champagne Supernova.
My note on here.
Everyone hates it.
This is the perfect answer. Is my note, like, because I made notes for all these, and it says, it's like, I try to hate this, but I can't.
Yes. Thank you.
I think it's part of it is like the Gallagher brothers are just gross.
Yeah.
And but
see, I don't exactly know how gross they are. I've only heard that they're gross. So maybe that would make me hate it.
One of the things, so in a previous episode, it was actually in the Patreon section, I think. Somebody picked Wonderwall for one of those questions. And so we were talking about Oasis, and and he didn't know this story. It was because it was back in the 90s.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Because maybe I actually meant Wonderwall. I can't remember, but either of them. Thing. Yeah, either of them. Yeah, they're both hated, and they're both. I'll sing along to both of them.
But
anyway,
so we're talking. Yeah, do you know the story of when? Like, I think they were supposed to play like an unplugged gig, like when MTV did unplugged gigs, and whichever one of the brothers is the singer, like he said he was sick and couldn't perform, and so the other brother had to sing all the songs, and he is not as good of a singer, like even close as good of a singer, which it's like, oh, that sucks. Well, then the sick brother, I don't know which is which, but showed up to the show in the crowd and just fucking heckled his brother the whole time. And it's like it is so, oh my God, it's like I love that story. It's so mean. Yeah, I know. I would never speak to them again.
I can't see myself doing that to my sister or her doing that to me, but I love that story. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that's like the only thing I ever think of when I think about Oasis is like, God. And because I know there's like a whole like drama for like 20-year rivalry or something with those guys. But
is it only two brothers in the family? Do you know? Are there more?
I don't know. Yeah, that'd be a good question. It's like, is there the brother who's like the insurance salesman or something?
Yeah.
He's like, God, these fucking guys.
Like no one fucking cares about him.
Right. He's like, thank God, you guys are fucking
Or like
terrible.
He's the only one loved by the family.
Yeah. Everybody, the other two have been disowned.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, no.
Or he's just like the middleman in between. Always getting like trapped in their drama. And
he's trying to
like
negotiate a truce all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to know. Yeah. I hope there's a third brother just for the stories.
I would feel very bad for him.
Oh God, that'd be the worst. If I was if if I was I would disown. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm
Definitely
done with you guys. Yeah. So, well, like I said, I try to hate the song. I can't. So, either one.
It's very sing-alongable.
It is. Yeah. Both of them are. And I don't even know what the fuck they're talking. I don't know what a Wonderwall is. I don't know what the fuck a champagne supernova is.
Me neither.
But it sounds cool. So, you know.
Yeah, you just sing it and you just sing it in like, you know, the kind of twangy weird accent.
Yeah, just go with it. Oh man. Okay. Well, let's I mean, I guess maybe one of these songs could fit this, but what do you think is the most romantic song?
Oh, it's hard to say most, but the one that comes to mind is Jeff Buckley and Elizabeth Fraser, Flowers in Time.
So incredible.
Yeah. So good.
You can make a case that that's like the greatest song of all time.
I know. I think I only heard of it. Heard of it for the first time just a few years ago. I mean, I love Liz Fraser. I love Cocktail Twins. And I was just trying to listen to every single thing that she's ever sang on. Also, like, I loved Teardrop and like the other stuff that she did with Massive Attack. And I didn't even know that was Liz Fraser when I first heard of those songs. But yeah, I just kept on digging. Then I found that one. And yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing too also how like it was never properly released. She didn't even want it to be released. She's kind of like embarrassed about it because it wasn't finished. I feel like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's something that's really precious to her. So maybe that's also part of the reason why she doesn't want it out there, like precious and personal. And, you know, with something that close to you and so precious in terms of like emotionally precious, I'm sure it's really hard to have it out and not be how you intend it or like, you know.
I know. I can't imagine what that feels like. Like that just seems kind of cruel, and especially for something that's like it's so beautiful and so. We talked about this on an earlier episode, and we were just kind of like looking at the lyrics to it, like every line is just kind of this beautiful phrase, and it's just, I don't know. And her voice on here,
I know.
It just like cuts. So.
Yeah, I think the fact that this wasn't like a studio ready, you know, perfected, lyrics perfect, melodies perfect, all of that. It really, I feel like we're really lucky to be able to experience that little capture of moment in their time.
Yeah. No. I love this pick. I love this song, and I love it. I don't remember what it was the answer for last time, but like this context of it, like that's kind of that's always how I've sort of thought of it. Yeah. So it's like, it really resonates, and it's, oh God, it's so,
There's definitely been days where I've just listened to this song on repeat, full days. I've had and few in a row.
Yeah. It's one of those songs where it's, again, like I seriously think you can make a case. It's like it's one of the best songs ever. Yeah. And what's so amazing is that it's like I truly believe that, and it's at the same time it's like I should never have heard it.
Yeah, I know.
So like, I don't know how to reconcile this.
We're listening to like a little whisper that happened between like two beautiful humans.
Right. I know. It's
crazy.
Like voyeuristic, but it's so good.
And now it's just on YouTube.
And now it's just, and
you know, I had to rip it, and now it's in my library.
Right. Exactly. I'm surprised someone hasn't tried to do like, I don't know.
Yeah, like remastered. True.
Like put on a 7-inch, just throw a bunch of money at her or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe people have, and she's just
and she's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she's like, how dare you even ask? Well, okay, so the lyrics for this song are incredible, and we already talked about how you like lyrics don't pay attention to them, but
it's really hard for me to pay attention to them.
Yeah. But what are your favorite lyrics?
I don't have an answer.
You don't have an answer?
I don't. I mean, I could, I was thinking about that one, and I was like, I could sit down and look up the lyrics to some of my favorite songs and be like, oh yeah, that's the one. I really like that one. Yeah. But I think that would just be totally fake, not real. But it is a shame. I wish that I could pay attention to lyrics a bit more. I know for me, I have ADHD, and gang.
Yeah.
I love having ADHD. Not
Same.
This reason doesn't bring me joy.
I
but
feel like it's my superpower sometimes.
Same.
So.
Yes, it really is. Like,
yeah,
I can really focus on some shit I really care about.
Yeah, exactly. If I don't care about it, fuck.
Well, yeah, definitely.
But whatever, it's life.
And yeah, I don't know. I think there's some people that lyrics is the first thing that they hear in a song, but for me it's really not. And I might even kind of sing along to it, but it's more singing along to kind of like the shapes and the sounds of the
just
mouth,
like the melody, and
and a lot of times I'll be singing along to it, and then it'll take a minute for me to be like, oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where it's like sometimes it really elevates my love for whatever it is, but sometimes it also is like,
sometimes it can detract from it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm curious, like when you're writing lyrics, like how do you approach
I think it makes it a lot more challenging. I think I'm just naturally not like one for linguistics.
Yeah.
I like talking. I like being vocal, but words really kind of are confused in my head often.
Right.
I need to write them down for them to kind of really to really hone in and like dissect them. So yeah, writing lyrics is really a challenge. I think also especially because I don't have many examples of lyrics that I like my training, my ear isn't really well trained.
Right.
Because when I'm listening to music, like, the words go in one ear and they go out the other, and I'm just listening to the beat or the harmonics or whatever. So yeah, it is really hard. And it's something that, like, I think in my album Purge, it was the first big thing that I wrote. I think most of the songs don't have lyrics. Probably one or two of them do. And often it kind of just comes out in like a press record stream of consciousness kind of way. Yeah. Also probably why I kind of look to Liz Fraser a lot as well, because she also didn't have so many lyrics in a lot of her songs. I mean, she developed her own language, but I think that's a little different from what I do. But for me, I think there's even been tracks of mine where I've recorded the vocals and decided that that's what I wanted it to be, and then thought, okay, I should write some lyrics to it, and already knew what it was about because it's what I was feeling in the moment. So it was also what was coming out in the moment too when I hit record. Because a lot of times I just take the first take, and the magic is just there. And then when I try to re-record it or try to write lyrics to it, it's just the words can't really describe everything that was there. So I feel like it narrows things down and kind of misses the rest. I think
I think that's really, I get that, and that's really interesting. See, that's a way better answer than what song you're. That's awesome.
I do respect good lyricists though. Like, I think they're so talented, and I wish I had that talent.
Yeah, it's like a totally different thing. It's just to me, Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna go. Normally we'd be going to the Patreon section here, but since we kind of moved things around, we're bringing one of the Patreon questions out into the open. So people who aren't on the Patreon are going to get a little taste. Yeah. So this is what the kind of things you get if you join the Patreon. I'm just saying. So what's a song that people really love, but you just don't get it?
Oh shit. Yeah. People might really hate me for this.
Uh-oh. Oops.
Okay. Well, I will preface this by saying that in the past, I did enjoy Amnesia Scanner. Found a lot of inspiration.
So much now.
No, not really. Yeah, I think before they were very inspiring to me. But I think in the past handful of years, I just can't get down with what they're putting out. It really hurts me. That's the
worst.
I know. I feel really.
No, that's the worst. Yeah, because I've had those things too, where it's like, God, I really love this thing, and then it just kind of like on one of the questions that we're not going to do is the song that changed your perspective on an artist, and my favorite answer I've had, because when I wrote that question, I was thinking of it's like, you heard a song by an artist that you didn't think anything, and you heard it, you're like, oh, there's something else here.
Yeah.
Somebody answered it the other way of like, I heard this, and I can't remember, it was a Wu-Tang song. And it was
damn.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
and it was like, yeah, they're fucking past it.
Yeah, that's not fair though. Yeah.
I know, but like those hurt.
Yeah.
Like those hurt.
Yeah. Wu-Tang's different though. I feel like nothing can negate what they had ever.
Oh,
like I mean, have you seen the RZA
no, I need to.
The beat thing?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The video where he's like doing a demo for, I don't know if it's like an NPC or something like that.
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
And he's making a beat on the fly.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I was thinking because there's like some TV, they made like a TV show about it was like a dramatized version of Wu-Tang.
Yeah. No, I didn't watch it.
That.
No, me neither. Not yet.
But yes, I have seen the video where he's making the beat. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Like, I love him. He's an amazing producer. 36 Chambers, sick. Wu-Tang Forever, sick. That beat, shit. Terrible. Boo-boo.
Trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. No,
But I still respect him.
Oh, God. I mean, when you make something like 36 Chambers or Wu-Tang, like, you're golden. I mean, as long as you don't, I mean, there are things that can, because I also on a previous episode talked about the Ignition remix.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you just, you can't.
Yeah, no, that definitely doesn't hit the same anymore. Definitely not.
Right. But it's like, yeah, okay, Wu-Tang put out some trash later part, but it doesn't negate, how.
No.
And I mean, and some of them are still making really good, like.
For sure.
Like Ghostface shows up on places and is still fucking Ghostface.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. But, okay. Well, we won't talk too much more about that so people don't get mad. Or they get mad.
I will just say about that. I think the Sonics just changed. I think they're kind of doing the same thing, but they pushed it in a direction, and that direction is not. I just can't really dig it.
Yeah.
But to each their own. Like, for me, it just doesn't. It sonically doesn't. It hits different places than the right ones.
Yeah. That's a very gentle way of putting it. I like it. All right. On a happier note, what's the song that you have or you can listen to the most?
Oh, okay. Braid, A Dozen Roses.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think this was one that my sister was really into. So I picked up from her when I was really young. And I was obsessively listening to it, and I still listen to it all the time today. I think it's an amazing song.
Yeah, it's
like I don't cringe at all. Like, I don't feel ashamed of of loving it and showing it to people. I think it's a fucking sick song.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's, and like this, going back to like the earnestness thing, it's like super earnest, but it doesn't. It's like a different kind of earnestness than like Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, like definitely.
Like this, it lands. Like, it's like, okay, like I feel this.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know if I can listen to it a lot though. Gosh, it's because it's kind of heavy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think because I don't really think about
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
exactly. What?
It's really good. Like, no,
I think actually the music that I listen to the most is always pretty heavy and sad.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true for me too.
Comforting. yeah. What are you talking about?
I know. I'm a big sad. Well, that's awesome. No, I love this song, and I was when I looked it up, I can't believe this came out in 1998. That kind of shocked me. Like it doesn't.
What? That it was so. It was.
Like it still.
You thought it was
like,
older or newer?
No, I mean I don't know. It's one of those songs that like if this came out a couple years ago, if you told me like this came out in 2015, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like it's kind of got like a timelessness to it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel dated at all. It doesn't feel like I agree.
Which is weird because I feel like there's a fair amount of music that's like kind of in this vein that does feel dated, but something about Braid, like
his voice,
maybe so. Yeah,
his
it's like
voice is not like this annoying kind of whiny.
Yeah, I think
that really could be it.
I think that's it. I think you've unlocked it. Okay, well, other happy things. What's the last song that you completely fell in love with?
The Senyawa. I think it's an album that they released during COVID. I think they did like a whole acoustic album. I can't remember what it's called, but the track that I chose and am in love with is, what's it called? Gehana.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so good. Actually, the thing is, I mean, Senyawa is amazing.
Right.
They are already super heavy, but I think there are other stuff I don't listen to all the time. Like I probably listen to a couple times and I really appreciate and really respect.
Right.
But this album, I don't know why, all of it being acoustic, it felt so much heavier to me.
It does.
Stuff.
It feels more like, I think it's because it feels kind of stripped back. It focuses the intensity or something.
Yeah. I think everything's closer. It's like there's no reverb. Well, I mean the reverb is super close. It's not kind of like hazy and stuff. And so when he's shouting, he's really shouting.
Yeah. Oh,
and
my God.
I think the strumming also, like the I don't know, the plucking of the strumming is so intense.
I know. It feels kind of raw and like it's so good. Some of it reminded me a bit. Have you listened to much Kon Makami?
No, I don't, who's that? Should I?
So he's like, so he's like this Japanese singer songwriter, was really like 70s 80s. He was like part of the whole like PSF crew that High Rise came up in and Kaiji Hano came up through, but it's like acoustic guitar singing, and it kind of has a similar, like, it feels like the playing is kind of skeletal and very like, I don't know, but he's just wailing and it's like so intense and incredible. And
I need to hear that.
Yeah. Black Editions, that label that reissues a bunch of Japanese stuff. Okay. They did, I think a couple years ago, they did a reissue that was really cool. I'll send you a link.
Yes, please.
I think if you love this, I think you will absolutely love Kon Makami. And he's
word.
Amazing. But yeah, I'm the same. I'm a big fan of Senyawa, but I don't listen to it a lot. But this album, there was something about it that just like really grabbed me.
Totally. Rinsed over and over and over.
Yeah.
But that track specifically, I think I just love the chords that he's playing in the beginning. It's like, I don't know how to describe it.
It's one
you
of those
guys just have to listen to it. Exactly.
And you hear, because it's like one of those things when you hear it, it's like you feel it in some part of you. You're like, oh, it's like you can't describe it. It's weird.
Achy. That's what it is. It's achy.
It's achy.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, where are we at? I got distracted. Okay. Oh yeah. What's the sexiest song?
Funny question. I guess maybe I have a funny answer.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think it's the sexiest song ever, but I just wanted to drop Earth. I feel like, and I don't even think it's not the specific song. I think I just picked the first song on that album. What's it called? Like Special Low Frequencies something.
but I can't.
I see the cover.
I can see the cover. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so low and demonic and fucking good.
And it's just relentless.
Yeah,
it's
it's evil.
I love the thing I want, and I feel like Earth do this. Like, so it, there's always a thing in music where it's like you get like tension builds up and then it kind of breaks. They never fucking, it just builds up and just it's like this constant build from start to finish. And at the end, you're just kind of like, I can't catch my breath. Fuck, I've been like run over.
I was talking to a friend recently, a friend and their partner, and he was saying how he was just making a joke how he was like, oh yeah, I knew that she was the one for me because I put on Coil and we were making out to Coil, and I was like, oh yeah, if she can make out to Coil, then like she's definitely the one. Yeah. And I was thinking about that and I was like, yeah, for me it's Earth. Yeah.
That's the test. If you can't put it on.
Can you get down?
Like,
can you get down with that? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, all right, this might work. Never would have guessed that was the answer to this, but I'm here for it. And like in that context too, yeah, that's like find the thing that the Earth or the Coil to the somebody can get down to and
find your person.
Yep, that's how you find your person. Okay, where are we? Oh, totally. So what's the best hype song?
Ooh, Nero. Their song called Innocence. This is also something that was maybe a little bit predates my time with Scream and Digital Mystics, when I was listening to a bit more, a little bit more trash dubstep. But yeah, this song's the one. I mean, I recently, it was in my mind recently because I went out the other night to a friend's like event that they were playing or throwing, and the closer DJ, who is now my new favorite DJ, his name is Trice. He closed with this song, and I lost my fucking shit.
Oh my god!
I think I was completely sober, only drank water, hands were up in the air, yelling my face off. Like looking around, kind of being like, "What is going on?"
That's amazing. Oh man, I could see that.
It's an epic, really, really epic song, but it's one that I feel like I don't feel like it's cringe. I feel like some people probably would not vibe with it because it is like so epic and maybe like an EDM flavored type of way. But I think it's just sick. The vocals are so good. The beat's hard.
The vocals are incredible.
The build-ups.
Oh, yeah. It's just like this super well written song. Like, take all the parts that people might find like cheesy or whatever away. Like, it's just a really good fucking song. Like the structure of it and like the vocals are unbelievable. And wow, to drop that at the end of a night. That's something. I mean.
It is because also I've been having it on my, because I DJ as well, and I've been having it on my USB stick, waiting for the perfect night to drop it because I need it to be a night where people are gonna go crazy for it. So it's not for everyone,
right?
But when he dropped it,
did everybody else go crazy?
Well, so there were only like 10 people there. It was that kind of night. I mean, It was sick though because everyone was like super like fucking vibing with it and dancing and everything. But everyone else was fucking with it. But I'm not sure if it was just because I was going crazy that it was riling everyone. Or kind of just like making eye contact and being like, "Come on!" Maybe bullying them into going crazy for it. I don't know.
Sometimes that's what's got to happen. So
I mean. If I were him, I would have. If I were to play that song as my last song in the future, which I hope that I do get a chance to do that, I hope there is someone like me out in the crowd.
I hope for him, and like I would get that like if I was in that position, that would like totally make the whole night to see like to drop that at the end and then see somebody just fucking lose it. That would be so good. So I hope he had that experience.
I think he did.
Good. All right. Well, we're in the home stretch here. We got the two big questions left, sort of.
Oh, there's two more?
Yeah.
What do we got? I don't remember. What do we got?
So what's the song that means the most to you?
Oh, yeah. So for this one, I picked a song by Felicia Chen. It's called Dream to Awakening. At least that's the English translation of the song. But it is a Taiwanese, she's a Taiwanese pop singer from some decades ago. For me, it is very important to me because it's one of my mom's favorite songs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I have memories of, so when I was growing up, my parents, they mainly listened to Chinese music, like Canton music, or sometimes Mando or Taiwanese music, and some Vietnamese music as well. But I think that most of it was always coming from my dad. He was really into music growing up. He's the one that also like picked up guitar. He doesn't really know how to play, but was playing a few songs. But also, I would just remember a lot of long drives with him where he would just put, Chinese songs on. So it was very important to me growing up. Yeah. But my mom, she wasn't so into music. But I always remember her always being super happy when he put this song on and she would sing along to it. So it just has a really,
I love that.
Yeah, really special, gives me a special feeling. And also it's a beautiful song. It's like a beautiful sing along song, even though I don't really know what she's saying. I can't speak Mandarin. I grew up speaking a little bit of Cantonese, but I have no idea what she's saying. But I try my best to sing along to it. Yeah. It's just beautiful.
I love that. I always love a song where there's something kind of magical when it's like in a language you don't know, but you can still there's still a connect, like you said, you sing along to the sounds, or you sing like in it because it's so I love that. And that's really interesting. So I'm curious, do your parents, like, have they heard your stuff? Do they listen?
They've heard my stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, recently, because I think I told my mom about this the Body album coming out, just keeping her updated of, what I'm working on, what's going on in my life.
Right.
And she asked me to send it to her, and I sent it. I didn't send her the whole album yet. I'm a little, I do things bit by bit with them where sometimes it'll take me months or something to send them something that I've just released, or I don't know why. Like, I don't really know why. But I sent it to her, the first single, Holy Lands. And I think she called me, which was kind of surprising, because sometimes I send her things, she's like, oh, yeah, nice. But this one, she called me, she's like, hey, I listened to the song. And so she's not really technologically skilled. So I sent her a YouTube link after I had told her that I was going to send her the song. Or I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was a YouTube link. And she said, she called me and she was like, hey, so like I clicked on that link that you sent me, and I was listening to it, and I thought, hey, is that Felicia? Is that Felicia's voice? Is that you? So she didn't even know that it was me.
Wow.
But she said that she listened to it, and she's like, yeah, it was really cool. Really, really
That's
cool.
awesome.
I think anytime I've sent her something, I mean, because she doesn't talk about music. She doesn't think about music. She listens to, old canto pop songs, but nothing further than that. She doesn't have the language to speak about it. So every single time that I've ever sent her anything, she's always said, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool is her adjective. Though. And I'm down. Yeah. I'm down with cool.
Yeah, no, that I mean, I totally get it, because my parents are the same way. And like, I don't send them everything I do, but I did this performance and have this installation at this museum here that has been going on for the last month. And my parents like went to it, and
nice.
they have like they bought a membership to the museum because they were so like they wanted to be able, And so they have gone like so many times, and every time my mom just gets like so emotional talking about it. Like they don't really
wait. They've bought the membership to be able to see your like
so they could go whenever they want. Yeah, it's like the most.
That's so sweet. That's
I know.
So nice.
I don't think they, and I don't know that I've tried to express, but I don't know that they really know like how much that means to me because it's like there's something I don't know, and I know it because it's like very conceptual and like I know they kind of get what it is and what it, but like they don't care. Yeah, they're just like, oh my god, and it's
you know, made that.
I know, and it's at this like place we've heard of. It's like not some. You know, they're used to me. It's like, oh, you played at this. Where? What? Where are you going? What?
Yeah. Actually, the one situation I have relating to that is I got to play in Times Square a few months ago, and that was the one that I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna tell my parents this because they've been to Times Square." You know, I think I told them, you know, Times Square, we've been there. Remember, you know, like every New Year's Eve where the ball drops. I was there. But awesome. It's funny because I showed my dad some videos of it, and he was listening to it and watching because so I did kind of like a improvised noise set during the daytime where we were just like screaming and like feedbacking guitars into speakers and stuff
in the middle of Times Square during the day.
Totally. Yeah, daylight. Yeah, I think it was like a Friday right after. It was like happy hour, you know, it was like 6 p.m. or something. Awesome. But I showed him that and like at first he was like, oh yeah, cool. Like Times Square. Yeah, I know that. And then when I showed him the video, he was like, why are you screaming like that? Like your throat's going to get sore. What are you doing? Why are you guys so noisy? And he's like, oh, you know, you're lucky that you did it during the day because if it was at night, you get complaints. Like Pete, they would call the cops. Like, what are you doing?
You were at Times Square and you blew it. What are you doing?
Doesn't your throat hurt? Yeah. What are you doing?
That's
and then
funny.
Actually when I showed my mom, I showed her the videos and she didn't say anything to them. And then I showed her pictures. She's like, oh, I like these better. I can enjoy the pictures more.
Hey, it's not for everybody, but that's cool. You know,
they still appreciate it. You know,
exactly. It's cool when you can do things like that. That like Times Square, like this museum. It's like okay, like I have context for that. I understand that.
Right.
And wow, you're there doing your thing. That's amazing. And
right.
So that's
hopefully
cool.
The next time they see the ball drop on New Year's Eve, they'll be thinking of their really cool daughter.
Yeah, and hoping your throat's okay.
Hoping my throat's okay. Continuing to make cool music.
Yes, cool music. Okay, Felicia, we're at the end here. We have one left. It's the big one.
I don't remember what this one is.
What's your favorite song?
What? I'm confused. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, Wandering Star by Portishead. But I will say that I just love Dummy, the whole album.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite albums ever. I think I would say top 2 favorite albums, Seven Swans and Dummy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think probably the 2 albums I've spent the most time with. Dummy is just amazing. I love Portishead. I'm a huge Portishead fan. I think Beth Gibbons is the ultimate GOAT as a vocalist. I think I chose Wandering Star because perhaps I might have heard, I'm sure that I heard Portishead songs when they came out, you know, just watching MTV or listening to the radio and stuff. But I don't think it ever like latched on to me that like I had to really dig in and figure out what this was.
Right.
And I think it took until I was in university, and I think there was a moment I remember being super stoned, super and someone put on Wandering Star, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I think that one specifically, I I think that one sonically is the most weighty one of Dummy of the album. So I think that one, it really hits me.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing song.
Yeah.
The whole album it's a perfect album.
So good. So good, so perfect.
It's one of those albums too. Whenever I look, I don't know. I sit there and think, I was just like, how is it possible for something like this to exist?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like it's from, I don't know, another place that I dream to someday touch. Like, totally.
And I want more from them, but I don't hate on them that they only came out with 3 albums, because all of them are perfect. There's not, I don't feel like there is one Portishead song that is like a snoozer, like, oh no, like this isn't it. All of them are it. Yeah. And like maybe one day one could dream of us being blessed with another one, but even if we're not, then I'm okay with it. Yeah.
When you have a run like that, it's I mean, I have so much respect when people like Lauryn Hill made one perfect fucking record. It was like, I mean, there's a lot more to, like, I'm sure, but like, it's been 30 years or something, and that record still, she's still making a living off that record. Yeah, because it's still fucking amazing, and I can't even imagine like trying, like, I would get in my own head. It's like, if I made something like that, then try, like, oh my god, I gotta try to do something else. Like, I do love how Portishead, they changed every single album. Yeah, like everyone.
It wasn't the same thing. Of course, it was like the same kind of moodiness. It was the same world, but it was always different, and I really respect that, because fuck making the same album over and over again.
Yeah, it's that's like one of those weird. This is a whole other conversation. I'm not going to get into it, because there are people who have. So like Phil Neblock has done the same thing for 60 years. Like all his I feel like they're all. I mean, he'll say this like, "Oh, I figured out the thing I wanted to do, and it's what I keep doing." And
who is that again?
Phil Neblock. He makes these really loud, like drone pieces. Okay. New York guy. He's been around for like. I think his first thing came out in the 60s. Like, and he was, he's amazing. Like he does, and he's worked with amazing people, and he has records like for 4 cellos, for 4 flutes, and they're just intense, relentless, and they're not all the same. Like, it's like he has the same idea that he's been refining and refining and refining, and he's 90 now, and like. That's not what I do. Not for me. Yeah, not for me. That's. But I have really a respect for. Yeah, I respect the hell out of it, and I love Phil Neblock. But like, I always think it's interesting to hear. Just like I interviewed him and we kind of got into it, but it's like I want to know more of like why. Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you get into? Maybe it's people who love to practice. Maybe. Yeah, I fucking hate practicing. I hate practicing. I just do. That's why I'm not. I'm like let me just do something new. Why do I have to do this again? Yeah, that's why I don't. Yeah, I'm like, I don't. I know how to. People are like, oh, they'll start talking about like music theory and stuff. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I just have to do what I know how to do. Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't want to practice. I just want to do it. Yeah. Same. I respect that. I think that's great. We do need masters in things, Yeah, not for me. Yeah, no, not for me. Like, I don't think I don't need to become a master in one thing. Definitely not. No. I mean, we also are gang ADHD. I feel like that has a part to do with it. I think that has. Yeah, I couldn't. If I tried to do that, I would lose my. It would be over for me. Yeah. So yeah, but Portishead. Like, I agree, like 3 perfect albums. I don't know. You're good. Like, and who knows? Maybe they'll pull like a D'Angelo and like, I mean, D'Angelo made Voodoo and everyone, which is a perfect record. Yeah. And then 14 years later, out of nowhere, like nobody knew, drops Black Messiah, which is a fucking amazing record. And so that's what I think like that's what I'm always hopeful for in situations like this. Too. It's like we're just gonna be sitting there one day. Even just, can you go on tour again? Yeah. I never got to see them live. I would love to see them live. Yeah, that seems like more plausible, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd settle for that. I'd be okay with that. I'd be satisfied.
Somebody out there's got just some like.
Please tell them.
Why aren't the billionaires putting their money to that? Like, throw a stupid amount of money at them. Like, go on tour. Do like.
I feel like they'd be the type of people though that they'd just be like, I don't fucking care. You take your money.
I know.
Suck it.
I know. I'm just dreaming, okay? Well, this was, like I said, this is my whole excuse. This is just fun. I get to.
It was very fun.
I make a podcast
myself.
and it's really just like, hey, I get to have fun.
Just chatting shit.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay, so the album with the body, what's the name of it? I've already forgot the name. I'm sorry.
Orchards of a Futile Heaven.
Oh, it's a great title. It's on, I remember when it comes out, February 23rd.
Me too. It's my sister's birthday.
Oh, what a birthday present. I'm sure she's very appreciative.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be like, oh, great, thanks.
Yeah. Felicia, this was awesome. Thank you for doing it.
Yes, it's been a pleasure.
Everybody go buy the record. Once again, thank you to Felicia Chen for taking some time on a cold winter's day in Berlin to talk to me about a bunch of killer tunes, frankly. And yeah, so check out the playlist of her songs, which is linked in the show notes. And perhaps more importantly, go buy a copy of Orchards of a Futile Heaven, Her in the Body. It is a record that is gonna make you feel some things, and you know that ain't a bad thing. So yeah, like I said, out February 23rd on Thrill Jockey. You can find me all over the damn place. Just look for Foxy Digitalis on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. Shoot me an email. And hey, sign up for the Patreon if you want to, again, like support this show and Foxy Digitalis in general and all the stuff I do. It'd be amazing. It'd mean the world. And if, that's not for you, take a few of those bucks and go buy the record. All right. Till next time, keep on listening, whatever the hell